Hi, welcome to my channel, Gina Patrickat's Place. More books about Elvis that I want to do an in-depth review of. The first one is Precious Memories of Elvis by Donna Presley and Eddie Hand. This book is really good. I'll just read from the front cover. These precious memories from Elvis's family will help the reader to understand the magnetic things about Elvis which made the fans the world over fall in love with him. Not only his talent, but his tenderness, his sense of humour and his spirituality. However, even though the book paints a loving portrait of Elvis, it also deals with the realities of his life. Elvis's family members address tough issues such as Elvis's problem with prescription drugs. They discuss how substance abuse problems plague not only Elvis, but a number of his family members. As you travel through these pages, you will come to know Elvis's family members who share openly with you their memories and their emotions. That's the inside the cover. It's a hardback book, good book. And then further on, a note to the reader, this is a family book. It's written as a collection of warm personal memories revealed to you, the reader, by members of Elvis Presley's family. The purpose of the book is to give you deep insight into Elvis himself and the members of his family. Let's see. And then it goes on to who the various notes are by, or the people that are mentioned, I should say. Help you get acquainted with these people, a look at some of them. Donna, Elvis's first cousin, her mother Nash was the younger sister of Elvis's father Vernon. Edie visited Graceland often. Edie's maternal grandmother, Alice Hacker, was the niece of Minnie May, Elvis's paternal grandmother. Nash, Elvis's aunt, the younger sister of Vernon. Vernon, Elvis's father. Gladys, of course, Elvis's mother. Minnie May was Elvis's paternal grandmother and mother of Vernon. And then you've got Vesta, Nash. Oh, hang on, sorry, that's the listing the family. Jesse Presley, Elvis's grandfather. Dodge's husband. Priscilla, Lisa Marie. Delta, Elvis's aunt, the daughter of Minnie May. Now, she's also Delta. Yeah, she's also one of Vernon's sisters. Vesta, Elvis's Vernon's brother. Cletus Smith, Vesta's wife. Gladys's sister. Patsy Presley, the daughter of Vesta and Cletus. Patsy's Elvis's cousin. Worked in Vernon's office at Graceland for a number of years. Susie, Karen Sue Pritchett, the daughter of Earl and Nash. She's Elvis's first cousin. Earl, Nash's husband and father of Donna and Susie. Buddy, Dee Stanley and Sandy Miller, who became engaged to Vernon before he died. Yeah, so it's a great book. Very worthwhile. I can thoroughly recommend it to add to your collection if you're into reading books about Elvis. So I won't find any more bits to read out loud because that can be a pain in the arse listening to me read. But I'll just show you the photos that are in it. Elvis and his mum, 13 years old. The house in Tupelo. Young Elvis. Elvis's aunt Nash is 6-year-old. Gladys and Vernon. Elvis with grandmother Dodger and Lisa Marie. And Elvis with his cousins Susie and Donna in the backyard of Graceland. Vernon drives his El Camino on the Circle G Ranch. The view of the back of Graceland from Vernon's office. The Graceland's front drive and lawn. The stairway that led to Elvis's bedroom at Graceland. A gift from Lisa Marie to her daddy. A card with her writing on. Dodger and Lisa Marie. Priscilla, Lisa and her stuffed friends, toys. Lisa all dolled up in fur. Dodger's Bible and pearls on her bedside table at Graceland. Dodger wearing one of her aprons. Dodger, Vernon and their landlady near the home they shared with Elvis when he was stationed in Germany. Dodger inside Elvis's home in Germany. Dodger and her sister Alice. Vernon his car which Elvis gave to him. A young Delta. Delta Edmund 1, a dog shared by Elvis and Delta, and Rising Sun. Sue and Donna while visiting Graceland. 2-year-old Jamie and granddaddy Earl and mother Donna in front of Graceland. Donna Nash and her church in Walls, Mississippi. Jamie and Stacey in front of grandmother Nash's car. Earl at Graceland. Alice Hood Hacker, an Elvis cousin who was Edie's grandmother and Dodge's niece. It's a big family. Edie's grandparents, Walter and Alice Hacker, Elvis's cousin, on their 50th wedding anniversary. Earl mows the front lawns at Graceland. Elvis's paternal grandfather Jesse with his second wife Vera. Vernon lounges in the sun at Graceland with Earl in the background. One of Elvis's first guitars. Okay. This photo was made while Elvis was on leave from the army. Elvis's father watches him perform. Vern with his second wife Dee, Elvis's girlfriend Linda, and Elvis at a karate demonstration. Elvis during a trip to Washington. Elvis in one of his favourite situations, surrounded by fans. Elvis gets a shoe shine while on leave in Paris. This is in Germany. Elvis takes a break from army routine. Elvis and an army buddy. Elvis, his grandmother, and Priscilla. Gee, that's a young one, isn't it? Yeah. Very early days, I suppose, when Priscilla first went to Graceland. The family dining room at Graceland. It had this decor when Priscilla and Elvis were married. After Elvis's death, the decor was restored. Yeah, okay. Priscilla, Dodger, and Elvis with the family's pride and joy. Yeah. Donna, Elvis, and Susie. Oops. Graceland. What's this one? I'm having trouble with hardbacks. You don't want to wreck the spine, but it's hard to hold them open. The Pritchett family, Susie, Donna, Earl, and Nash in the den of Vernon's home in the back of Graceland. Edie and Nash. Elvis's Aunt Delta, Dodger in a big chair with Gary Pepper. Elvis's Uncle Vesta in his guard uniform. Earl in front of Elvis's gates. Delta walks Edmund and Nash on the grounds of Graceland. It's really interesting. Oh, hang on. Before I start about that. Nash and Charlie Hodge. Nash and Charlie Hodge. Nash with an Elvis fan. Nash speaking to a convention of Elvis fans at the Circle T Ranch. Joining the singing of How Great Thou Art. James Blackwood, Hovey Lister, Elvis, and Jodie Sumner. This was taken backstage during a gospel quartet convention at the Ellis Auditorium in Memphis. Nash and Susie with Donna and Eddie, the Blackwood brothers. Edie, second from left for Cherry, Kim, Philip and David. Christmas 72, 3 months before David's death. Okay. The Earl family, Edie's wedding day. Elvis wasn't in that photo. Edie's just before leaving on the Lisa Marie for a shopping trip to New York. Even when he was this young, Elvis was wearing his signature belts. Okay. And finally, a young fan receives a special gift from Elvis, a ring, a scarf and a hug. Look at Elvis's face. Isn't it a beautiful photo? Look at the look on his face. Oh, he just loved kids. That will make me cry, actually. It's a beautiful picture. Vernon, 1976. Delta reflects on her memories of her nephew, Elvis. Oh, Elvis, another young fan. Isn't that sweet? Elvis, 1977 Birmingham concert. And this one, the living room, music room at Graceland, the way it was the day Elvis died. After their deaths, Elf, Vernon and Dodger lay in state in the open doorway. Yeah. At Elvis's gravesite, Jimmy Gamble and Dina Gamble, Patsy's son and daughter. In 1985, friend Eddie Fadal sent Nash this picture, which years earlier had been made of him and Elvis. The inscription on the back is "Faithfully your friend always through Christ. Love, Eddie Fadal, 1985. Christmas at Graceland in 1992, 7 months before Elvis's death. Susie, Nash and Donna vacationing in Florida. Nash and daughter Susie at an Elvis charity function. Nash shows off a scarf from Paris, a gift from a fan. Donna on a vacation in Hawaii, 1995. Donna stunned Stacey Aaron, Elvis's namesake, with his bride, 1995. Elvis's cousins, Jamie and Stacey. Elvis's stepbrother, Rick. Edie, Charlie Hodge, with a talk show host, Sally, Jesse, Raphael. Donna's modelling portfolio, Donna again. Dr. Casey and Edie. Edie, New York, for opening of Elvis, a rock and remembrance. Ooh. Okay, never heard of that. Advertising Edie and Lifetime Cable Network. Edie and apparently Edie became quite famous in her own name. Country music group Alabama joins Edie and Space Campus in Huntsville, Alabama. Edie and her son. Edie with country music Tanya Tucker and Mrs. Tucker's daughter Presley. Right. Edie again. Edie's impersonation of Phyllis Diller. Of all the roles Elvis saw Edie do, this was his favourite. Edie as Pearl in commercials. Elvis's entertainer cousins, the Hacker brothers. Elvis's cousins, Alice and Joey Coleman. Elvis's second cousin, Jackie Coleman, who has taught music in Indiana for more than 30 years, sorry. Susie and Nash at an Elvis fan convention in Washington, the front of Graceland, 1972. Dodger's grave immediately after her burial at Graceland. Buddy placing floral arrangements on Elvis's grave, 1980. Elvis the performer. Yeah, so it goes through their lives, life in early days and on to the death of Elvis. What I found out, or what I discovered reading this book, was that Elvis had a lot of his relatives living in and around Graceland and working for him. I mean, I've heard that before, but this book gives all the details, and it's quite fascinating. He really was family orientated. Good on him. The next book I wanted to review is Taking Care of Elvis by Tish Henley, his private nurse. Now, there was another one called Marion Cock. So, I don't know, Tish doesn't mention Marion, so I don't know whether there's a bit of competition between these two about who was his favourite nurse, but anyway. I'll just flip through this whole book because it's written in 2015. Her late husband Tommy, whose decision to make the move to Graceland started the amazing journey which followed. Okay. For 2 or 3 years after Elvis's death, I was constantly harassed by the media for an interview. In 2012, I attended an event conducted by Andrew Hearn at the Dolan House adjacent to the Graceland compound. At that point in time, I realised how hungry Elvis's fans were to know what he was like in his off time. It was then that I started taking notes of my time with Elvis at Graceland, on tours at Vegas and Tahoe. The purpose of this book is to relate some of those events to show the fans what a kind, generous, talented, fun-loving human being this especially talented man was. 38 years after his death, Elvis would never believe the continuous outpouring of love and devotion for him from his multitudes of fans around the world. Oh, it makes me want to cry. I'm sorry. Okay. In 1968, at the age of 26, I became a nurse at the medical group in Memphis, Tennessee. Our group consisted of 12 internal medicine and cardiology physicians, and Dr. Nicholas was one of them. One day, there was a call to our front desk from Elvis's longtime friend, George Klein. At that time, Barbara Little, George's girlfriend, was one of our receptionists. George told her he had a call from Elvis, who was at the Circle G ranch in Mississippi. He said he needed a doctor, and he needed a doctor quick. So Dr. Nick went off to see Elvis at the ranch, and this was his first meeting with Elvis. Elvis's problem was he'd been riding horses all day and had a sore butt. Yeah. Anyway, so lots of good memories now. What's that? I don't know what that is, but yeah. Elvis Presley concerts. These are the ones, the concerts she attended looking after Elvis. Like Tahoe. All concerts, the 1976 tour. After each performance, Elvis had to wind down, so that night after the show we were sitting in the suite talking. Elvis always wanted to know the history of some of my nursing stories. He was always into learning as much as he could about the medical profession. I wonder if in his next life, if you believe in reincarnation, Elvis comes back as a doctor. Okay. And that's not a real... Is that a real dollar with Elvis's face in it? Gee, I tell you what, if it was, I wouldn't buy a copy of that. I'll just read this. One night after a sold-out show, Elvis took some time to get keyed down. We were sitting talking, and I said, Elvis, how much money do you think you made tonight? There was silence, and he said, Tishina, that's what his nickname for. I don't care how much I made, as long as my fans are happy and the bills get paid. Then I am happy. I never discussed money with him again. Actually, I thought it was a pretty rude, pretty cheeky question. I wouldn't have asked him that. Elvis had a great desire to always make his fans happy. One occasion we were returning home from a tour. Lamar, one of the employees, or one of Elvis's bodyguard, was cursing fans at the front gate. Because of them we had to stop before we could get through the gate. Elvis told Lamar to shut his effing mouth. He said, Lamar, you better worry when there are no fans at the gate, because then your fat ass won't have a job. Whoa! Oh, he did love his fans, that's for sure. Okay. It's good reading. It really is. It does show. Yeah, intimate without being rude. Intimate sides of Elvis. Okay, Elvis, Deborah, Donna, and Lisa Marie. Demisha, Deborah, Donna, and Lisa Marie. Okay. That Deborah and Donna are Tish's daughters, right? Okay, they become friendly, very friendly with Lisa, to play with Lisa, with Lisa Marie. Yeah. One night we're sitting in Lisa's room watching a basketball game on TV. Back then, TV electronics had not advanced to the place where they are today, and the picture kept rolling. We'd reset the picture, then it would start rolling all over again. Suddenly there was a blast and the TV was shot dead. Many TVs had been shot in the past, but this is the first time I'd witnessed it happening. People have talked to me about the deranged mind of a man who would shoot a TV. My reply, always and still is, that in those days of rolling TV pictures, I would have happily shot out a TV myself. But the big difference between Elvis and me was that I didn't have the money to replace it, and he did. Good point. Okay, let's see. Racquetball. Oh, the racquetball's caught. Oh, this is nice. Look. Elvis is a very caring man. I got a huge bouquet of his favourite flowers, Bird of Paradise, and it kept the nurses all in a dither that Elvis Presley called and sent flowers. After Dr. Nick left the medical group, I worked alongside Dr. Mark Costello, who had become a member of the group. As fate would have it, he was a huge Elvis fan. I made copies of some of my Elvis photos, framed them, and made one of Dr. Costello's examination rooms and Elvis room, which to this day is a great conversation piece for many of his patients. As the years have gone on, other Elvis memorabilia have been added to the collection. couldn't imagine anyone in Memphis, living in Memphis, who wouldn't have been an Elvis fan. God, they wouldn't have known him for long enough. What are these? Some of these badges, cloth badges. Donna, Deborah and Lisa. After Elvis's death, and Lisa was here for a visit, and she really touched my heart. The three girls, Donna, Deborah and Lisa, were walking through the house, and there was a large painting of Elvis hanging above the sofa in the living room. As Lisa passed the painting, she blew a kiss and said, "Daddy, I love you." I thought my heart would break. Oh. Yeah, these are some of her souvenirs. Elvis told me to keep the jacket. This one. He found this fuchsia silver-studded polyester pantsuit. It reminded him of the suits the backup singers wore, so he purchased one for me. It's her Tender Nurse Care. Oh no, TLC. Yeah. It's this cornware dish. Okay. These houses. Okay. Mink and white leather white mink and leather jacket. He bought that for her. Elvis on Rising Sun. Jippy's guns. He gave his nurse a gun. Oh, gee. Elvis designed a ring for me and told me he had a special ring in the making. 10 days later, I was called to Graceland, and there on a black pillow was this nugget ring with round, oblong and emerald cut diamonds. Wow. Elvis with Felton Jarvis. Elvis had a room in Felton's house converted to a dialysis lab, so he had kidney failure, so he'd get treatments at home. Elvis paid for a kidney transplant for Felton, a life-saving transplant. Selected personalities. So Lisa, his mum, parents, Vernon, early photos, Dodger, Vernon, sorry, Vesta, what on Vesta? Veterans and the fans. Who's this? Don't know who that is. Jane Mills, okay. No, it's Dr. Nick, yeah, Dr. Nick Goblis. Dr. Nick and Elvis had a very personal relationship aside from the doctor-patient one they enjoyed. They had many good times together. Dr. Nick was an excellent racquetball player who not only introduced the sport to Memphis but taught Elvis how to play. Who's this? That doctor when he was younger doing an imitation of Elvis. Okay, what have we got here? Jay Parker, the original designer of Sun Records logo. Okay. Yeah, all sorts of interesting books. Interesting things in these books that you don't know about. Elvis's ladies, Elvis's Graceland, Elvis's toys, Elvis through the years, Elvis and Priscilla, photos which you've all seen. Lisa Marie and Priscilla, which you've all seen. Linda Thompson, Ginger Alden, Elvis's Graceland. That's is it Linda? Not sure. Priscilla, don't know who that is. The stained glass peacocks and the when it was done in red, Graceland foyer. Living room. This is when it was all done in red when Elvis and Linda redecorated before Priscilla changed it all back again. Cool room again. Yeah, I don't look comfortable. Oh, it'd be great watching Elvis play pool and just sitting on the couch there waiting for him to finish. Okay, the downstairs TV room. Inside the racquetball court. El piano. Inside the racquetball court again. Trophy room. Jungle room. More in the jungle room. Elvis's bedroom. Not too many photos of that. Oops. The big bed. And what you were looking at when you were on the bed. Okay. Lisa's bedroom. There. And Lottie in the kitchen. Graceland at Christmas, all the decorations. More of those. Nativity decorations. What? Took a lot of those. Elvis's toys. It wasn't much that he didn't have. It was on 2 wheels, 3 wheels and 4 wheels. Bikes, the cars, the planes. So the plane. Elvis through the years. Okay. Oops. Okay. Elvis 60. Oh, that's one of those calendars, I think, isn't it? 74, 73, 75. 76, 77, that's a good one for 1977, isn't it? Most of the photos you get of him in 1977, he doesn't look well, but he looks okay there. Okay, back to the early days. Looks like he's got a gut ache there. Louisiana Hayride. He's riding around Graceland on Rising Sun, or walking around in the snow bod. Look at that one. The Governor George Wallace. Black and white shots. Beautiful. Look at this shot. Whenever Elvis walked past, the fans would always reach out to try and touch him or just shake his hand or whatever. What a man. What a man. These ones aren't terribly clear. Yeah. Tish's family. Okay. That's her family. Okay. And more of Elvis. Elvis was very intelligent, kind and caring. He was full of laughter and fun. He was honest most of the time unless he wanted something. Sincere and very religious with a kind and caring heart of gold. I once told him he was the best gold record he owned. He thought that was really neat. Oh. The end. That's an appropriate picture. Okay. Yeah. Again, another book worth getting because it's no bullshit. Sorry about swearing. A very, very affectionate view of Elvis, and obviously no sensationalism or any other reason to write it apart from, as she said, because she knows Elvis fans want to know all they can about him. Hope you enjoy this. Bye.